Post-war Malaysia was quite a difficult, traumatic period. The country was virtually destroyed, and there was a massive rebuilding program that had to happen. And with the shortage of money that the British had, because they had this problem in other parts of Asia, it was a slow way of trying to get the country back to normality. And a lot of people were suffering. There was a lot of high unemployment, but it took something like about 8 to 10 years before normality came. With the coming of the British, Dad was released out of prison. And the first thing he did, I can't believe it, first thing he did was go to various schools to register his 7 children. He didn't come home. Home was 18 kilometers away and was 1.5 hours drive those days. So that's the importance of education that he had. And that was the one that was driving us all the way. Be educated, improve yourself, enhance yourself, go to the good schools. That's our philosophy in life. Well, at that age of 17 and 18, most of us are not quite aware of what we want to do. But Dad was right. I think on hindsight, he said, go and do civil engineering, which I did. And I had some second thoughts about it while doing it, and I had some lot of failures along the way. But one thing that I did get out of that was it taught me long-term planning. It taught me about how a business should be run, that part of the business that was related to engineering, and it certainly did add a lot of value to me as a person. Those of us who are not sculptors, we look at a rock and we see a rock. But a sculptor looks at a rock and sees a beautiful face in it. Man, that face is already in the rock. The location of this land was very ideal. It was only 25 km from Brisbane CBD. It had the backdrop of Spring Mountain, which is a 260,000 acres of national forest, and the topography was absolutely amazing. The contours of the land was fascinating, and so we said to ourselves, the location, the contours, the river flows, the waterways, and the open spaces, man, where would you get it? So we saw all the positive things, and the land was calling out to me, bring me out, bring me out. You are the only bloke who could bring me out. So I had to respond to that. We want to make sure that it is a value-adding society. Because for the first time in the history of this country, Queensland Parliament unanimously, all the 89 hands approved a project. Now, when we have this responsibility, you have to take it to the best and highest value. And the highest value here for us is adding human capital, adding social capital. That's what this project is about. And in that context, we are driving education, health, and IT. Education is the currency of the future. Education is the only currency that you can cash anywhere in the world. And education is the only currency that cannot be stolen from an owner. From the age of 22, I came across Gandhi. Gandhi, as you know, had no money, no army, no family connection. Changed the course of human history. The British Empire said, the sun never sets on the British Empire. By peaceful means, no money, no army, no family connection, he made them hand it over peacefully. Passive disobedience or non-violence. And I said to myself, if a human being can do this with nothing, surely I can emulate him and I can do a little bit without all these 3 things. Yesterday was our 24th birthday. It's a long, long journey. No one believed in this project. I mean, no one. But the long journey was to try and accomplish something that was going to leave a nation-building exercise. This project is now considered a nation-building exercise. We are seeing families who have never went to universities sending their children to universities because the university is next door. So one day these kids and these families will say, well, thank God we had this wonderful opportunity that we never would have had if not for Springfield. The desire to leave a legacy behind was always a burning desire I had. And I felt that I had to contribute as a human being to society, to add human capital and social capital. And that has been the driving force in the way we have been developing Springfield from day one. It is not an exercise that you race in and race out, but you want to leave something behind.